There is a strange moment that happens to many people. A moment they rarely talk about. They achieve something they once wanted. Something they spent months or years working toward. They finally get it. The new position. The new purchase. The recognition. The opportunity. And for a brief moment, everything feels perfect. They feel proud. They feel relieved. They think, this is it. But then something unexpected happens. The excitement fades. The achievement becomes normal. The thing they once imagined would change everything becomes part of everyday life. And before long, their attention moves towards something else. Another goal. Another purchase. Another milestone. Another reason to believe that happiness is waiting somewhere ahead. This is one of the quiet traps of modern life. The belief that fulfillment is always one step away. That once we reach the next level, we will finally feel complete. But the next level keeps moving. The finish line keeps changing. The thing we thought would satisfy us becomes the thing we barely notice. And suddenly we find ourselves chasing a future that never arrives. The human desire for more is complicated. It has created incredible progress. It has inspired inventions. It has pushed people to explore, create, and improve the world. Wanting more is not automatically a problem. The problem begins when more becomes the only answer. When every achievement immediately creates another hunger. When nothing is ever enough. Imagine drinking salt water when you are thirsty. At first, it feels like you are solving the problem. You are taking action. You are doing something. But the more you drink, the worse the thirst becomes. Some forms of desire work the same way. You keep consuming. Keep chasing. Keep collecting. But the satisfaction never lasts. Because the problem was never the lack of something outside you. The problem was the belief that something outside you could permanently fix what was happening inside. Many people spend their lives preparing to finally enjoy life. They tell themselves, I'll relax when I achieve this. I'll be happy when I get there. I'll appreciate things once I have more. But the strange thing about life is that there is always another reason to wait. Another obstacle. Another goal. Another improvement. If you are not careful, you can spend your entire life preparing to live. There is nothing wrong with ambition. There is nothing wrong with wanting growth. But there is a difference between building a better life, and constantly escaping the one you already have. Some people are not chasing dreams. They are running from the fear that their current life is not enough. They believe the next achievement will finally prove something. that they are worthy, that they matter, that they are successful. But no achievement can permanently answer a question about your value, because the mind quickly adapts. A person can receive something they once considered impossible, and after enough time, it becomes normal. This process is called adaptation. The extraordinary becomes ordinary. The rare becomes familiar. The dream becomes routine. This is not a flaw. It is simply how human beings experience life. But if you don't understand this, you can mistake adaptation for failure. The answer is not always that something is missing. Sometimes you have simply adjusted to something you once prayed for. Think about your life 5 years ago. There are probably things you have today that the past version of you would have appreciated deeply. A skill, a relationship, a possession, an opportunity, a level of comfort. Yet because you experience them daily, you may barely notice them. This is one of the strange contradictions of being human. We often desire what we do not have, and overlook what we already do. We imagine the future will finally bring peace, while ignoring the things currently creating meaning. A person can own many things and still feel poor. Not because they lack resources, because they have lost the ability to appreciate. There is a difference between having more and experiencing more. A person who can appreciate simple moments may feel richer than someone who constantly needs something new. Because satisfaction is not only created by what enters your life. It is also created by how you experience what is already there. Imagine two people standing outside during a sunset. One is thinking about the next thing they need to accomplish. The other is simply noticing the colors in the sky. The sunset is the same. The difference is attention. The experience changes because the person experiencing it has changed. This is why chasing more can become exhausting. Because the person searching for fulfillment never learns how to receive it. They keep moving the answer further away. They create a future where happiness exists, but never allow it to exist in the present. Another trap of always wanting more is comparison. Modern life makes comparison effortless. Every day we see people showing what they own, where they travel, what they achieve, how they look, what they experience, and without realizing it, we start measuring our lives against carefully selected moments from other people's lives. We see what they have gained. We rarely see what they sacrificed. We see the outcome, not the cost. Comparison creates an illusion. Everyone else is ahead, and I am behind. But life is not a competition where everyone receives the same definition of success. One person's dream may be another person's burden. One person's achievement may not match your values at all. Yet people chase things simply because others are chasing them. They buy things they do not truly want. pursue goals they do not truly care about, enter races they never agreed to join. All because they confuse popularity with importance. The question is not, what does everyone else want? The question is, what actually matters to me? This is a difficult question because society provides many answers before we ever ask ourselves. It tells us what success looks like, what happiness looks like, what a good life should contain. But external definitions can only take you so far. Eventually, every person has to decide what enough means. Because if you never define enough, nothing will ever be enough. You can always earn more, buy more, achieve more, collect more. There is no natural stopping point. The finish line does not appear automatically. You have to create it. This does not mean settling. It does not mean abandoning ambition. It means understanding the difference between progress and endless hunger. A person can strive for more while still appreciating what exists. They can have goals without believing they are incomplete. The healthiest relationship with ambition is not, I need this to finally be happy. It is, I appreciate where I am, and I am excited about where I am going. That difference changes everything. Because one comes from emptiness, the other comes from appreciation. There is another reason people chase more. Sometimes they are afraid of being still. When the pursuit stops, they have to face themselves. They have to ask, who am I without the next achievement? These questions can feel uncomfortable, but they reveal something important. Your identity should never depend entirely on what you obtain. Because everything external can change. Money can change. Status can change. Circumstances can change. But the relationship you have with yourself remains. A person who cannot appreciate anything will always feel deprived. Even with abundance, a person who can appreciate deeply can find richness in many situations. Even without excess. This is why some people with very little experience genuine happiness, while some people with everything still feel empty. The difference is not always what they possess. It is how they experience their lives. The world will continue encouraging you to want more. More followers. More money. More recognition. More things. And there is nothing wrong with pursuing goals. But remember, a person who believes happiness is always somewhere else will never arrive. Because wherever they go, they bring themselves with them. The answer is not to stop dreaming. The answer is to stop believing your dreams are the only place where life exists. There is beauty before the achievement. Meaning before the milestone. Value before the reward. Your life is not a waiting room before the future begins. It is happening now. The conversations. The ordinary days. the people around you, the moments you almost ignore. These are not obstacles between you and fulfillment. They are where fulfillment is found. So ask yourself, what am I chasing? And why? Is it something I truly value? Or something I believe will finally make me feel complete? What would happen if I appreciated what I already have while still working toward what I want? Because perhaps the goal is not to stop wanting. Perhaps the goal is to stop needing more in order to feel whole. The richest person is not always the one who has the most. Sometimes it is the person who has learned how to recognize enough. Because when nothing is ever enough, everything becomes a burden. But when you understand what truly matters, even simple things become valuable. And maybe that is the freedom many people are searching for. Not having everything, but no longer believing they need everything to have a meaningful life.